Confused about how to build the perfect portfolio? You're not alone. Stocks, bonds, and REITs each play a powerful role, but understanding the differences is key to unlocking long-term wealth. Hi, I'm Dennis Chen, a former hedge fund manager, full-time investor, and host of the Always Be Compounding Club. If you're passionate about long-term investing, check out the Always Be Compounding Club, our growing online community where serious investors connect, learn, and build wealth together. Join us for free using the link below. In this video, we'll break down the 3 core asset classes every investor should understand: stocks, bonds, and REITs. Whether you're a do-it-yourself investor or planning for retirement, understanding how these assets work can help you build a stronger, more resilient portfolio. So let's get started. This video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. I am not your financial advisor, and you are responsible for your own financial decisions. Segment 1. What are stocks, bonds, and REITs? First, let's do a quick parenthesis on something you'll hear a lot in this video: ETFs. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. It's like a basket of investments. It could hold stocks, bonds, real estate investment trusts, or a mix of them. And it trades on the stock market just like a regular stocks. ETFs make it easy for investors to get a broad exposure to an entire market or sector just with one purchase. For example, the total stock market ETF might hold thousands of US stocks, giving you instant diversification in one simple investment. Now, let's break down each asset class on its own. Stocks. When you buy a stock, you're buying partial ownership in a company. You become a shareholder. This means that you participate in a company's profits, usually through price appreciation and possibly through dividends. Bonds. Bonds or loans. You lend money to a government or corporation, and in return, you receive regular interest payments and the return of your money at maturity or at the end of the term. You don't own a piece of the company. You're a creditor. That means the company owes you money. REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust. REITs let you invest in real estate without owning physical properties. They pool investors' money to buy income-generating real estate like apartments, offices, and malls. REITs are legally required to pay out at least 90% of their taxable income as dividends. Segment 2. Key similarities. Even though they differ, stocks, bonds, and REITs share some common traits. Liquidity. All 3 trade in public exchanges, so you can buy and sell them easily. Accessibility. Anyone with a brokerage account can invest in them. Diversification tools. Each can be used to build a diversified portfolio. Income generation. All 3 can provide income, whether through dividends in the case of stocks and REITs or interest in the case of bonds. Segment 3. Major differences. Here's where things start to diverge. Let's walk through the key differences between stocks, bonds, and REITs by breaking down this chart column by column. Let's start with ownership rights. When you own a stock, you're part owner of a company. You have voting rights and a residual claim on earnings. With bonds, you're just lending money. You have no ownership. And REITs, on the other hand, represent fractional ownership in a portfolio of real estate assets. So you're an equity owner of income-producing properties. For example, a rental apartment complex or an office building. Next is income type. Stocks may or may not pay dividends, and when they do, they tend to be variable. Bonds offer fixed interest payments, making them predictable. And REITs are income focused and must pay out 90% of their income. So they typically offer higher dividend yields. Volatility comes third. Stocks can be very volatile, especially growth stocks or those tied to cyclical industries. Bonds tend to be less volatile, especially government or investment grade bonds. REITs fall somewhere in between. They're influenced by both the stock market and real estate market, which can create medium to high volatility. Let's talk about risk. For stocks, you carry business risk. If the company underperforms or it goes bankrupt, your investment can go to zero. Bonds carry interest rate risk and credit risk. If rates go up, bond prices fall. And if the borrower defaults, you might not get your money back. REITs carry real estate specific risk, things like occupancy rates, property values, and sector specific pressures, like retail versus industrial. What about tax treatment? Stocks often pay qualified dividends, which may receive favorable tax treatment. Bond interest is taxed at ordinary income, which could be higher depending on your bracket. REITs dividends are usually taxed as ordinary income too, unless part of it is return of capital. Lastly, market sensitivity. Stocks are sensitive to earnings announcements, economic cycles, and sentiment. Bonds move more on interest rates and creditworthiness of the issuer. REITs are doubly exposed. They're influenced by real estate trends and broader interest rates movements. Understanding these differences is key to figuring out which role each asset class should play in your portfolio. Let's move on to risk-reward profiles. Segment 4, risk-reward profile. Stocks offer the highest potential returns, but with high volatility. Bonds are generally more stable and provide predictable income, but with lower returns. However, the price of a bond can also vary until maturity. It will depend on the market interest rates. REITs sit somewhere in the middle, offering attractive income and some growth, but with sector-specific risk like interest rates and property values. Segment 5, income generation. If you're looking for income, bonds pay regular interest, great for retirees or conservative investors. Dividend-paying stocks can grow their payouts over time, and REITs often have some of the highest yields, making them a favorite for income-focused portfolios. Segment 6, liquidity and market influence. Stocks are extremely liquid with deep markets. Bonds vary. Government bonds are liquid, but corporate and muni bonds can be less so. REITs are also liquid if publicly traded, though they can behave differently than stocks due to real estate market dynamics. Market drivers. Stocks move on earnings, sentiment, and macro conditions. Bonds respond to interest rates and credit quality. REITs are influenced by both real estate fundamentals and interest rates. Segment 7, final thoughts. To help bring this all together, let me show you a simple example of a 3-fund portfolio that includes stocks, bonds, and REITs. 50% in the total stock market ETF, like VTI or SCHV, which gives you broad exposure to US equities and serves as the growth engine of your portfolio. 35% in a total bond market ETF like VND or AGG, which adds income and stability through diversified exposure to government and corporate bonds. And 15% in a REIT ETF like VNQ or SHH to add diversification and income through real estate exposure. This simple structure is easy to manage, rebalance well, and gives you exposure to 3 distinct asset classes. You get the upside potential of stocks, the income and stability of bonds, and the diversification and yield of REITs. This kind of balance is especially useful for long-term investors who want growth, income, and peace of mind. Please note that this 3-fund portfolio is provided for educational purposes only and should not be considered personalized investment advice. Everyone's financial situation is different, so be sure to do your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. Each asset class plays a role. Stocks drive growth, bonds bring stability, REITs add income and diversification. Understanding how they work individually and together is the key to building a resilient portfolio. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and check out our videos on portfolio construction and retirement investing. And if you want to connect with other long-term investors, join us at the Always Be Compounding Club online community. Thanks for watching, and remember, the key to building wealth is to always be compounding. See you in the next video. Take care.